Hi. Hello, hello, and hello. This is Dr. Deborah Roebuck, and I'm known as the Menopause Whisperer. Well, today is day one of our master class series. I wanted to start the year off on some of the various things we women, and I will say menopausal women, are thinking about. Now, before we go any further, I just want you to understand when I say menopausal women, I mean more than just, oh, did I stop my period? Or do I still have a period? The menopausal period of time has four phases. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But today, our topic is rethink. Yes, rethink. Now, this is 2022. We've only been in this year for less than a week now. So it's time to get our minds reframing our thinking, decide how we're going to move, negotiate, go through this year. So I thought, okay, we're going to start off with the conversation rethink. Now, you're probably saying, Deborah, what's this thing you got up here? And it looks half crooked at that. Well, that's all right because that's going to be my style. Okay. What I really want to do is to let you know, even though this is my hairstyle here. I even thought about wearing a cap or different types of hats or what have you today. But I thought, why not wear a crown? Okay, here's my crown. Now you probably saying, now Deborah, I know we're supposed to be queens. I know that we're supposed to feel good about ourselves, but I got problems with this crown. That looks real little. Well, I got something for you. Because if we're going to rethink, too often, this little crown, yeah, we say we the queen, but the crown is very small. I mean, small. Do you have a crown? Hmm? Well, I'm going to tell you what. I'm putting this crown aside. And what I'm going to do, I'm putting on another crown. Now, listen. Trying to put this on. Wow. Wow. What y'all say about that? I think that's pretty special, don't you think? Where's your crown? Now, you probably say, Deborah, I don't have a crown with me. And I say, get one. Let's start off 2022 wearing our crown. Now, what does that mean, wearing our crown? That's saying, even to ourselves, I am a queen. Okay? And I thank you, Cynthia, for saying that. Thank you. Cynthia said that she really likes the crown. She thinks it's pretty. Okay, so we've gone from this little crown to this crown. So let me just start off talking to you a little bit. For those of you, excuse me, who don't know who I am, my name is Deborah Darlene Roebuck. I am the Menopause Whisperer. And then many people come on and just call me Deborah, and I have no problems with that. Really, I'm Dr. Deborah Roebuck, but I am one of your sisters. I am someone who has experience with going through menopause. And you probably said, well, Deborah, your menopause journey isn't my menopause journey. No, it's not. My menopause journey is mine and yours is yours because you know what? We are not carbon copies. We are unique. And with that uniqueness, that's what makes us a queen. Okay. So I had thought a lot about this, the beginning of the year. Now, today, I mean, even on the news today, what did I hear? All the people have to go and get COVID tests. This one pharmacy said they sold over 400 COVID testing within 3 hours. Now, many of you have not even been able to get the COVID test because they're sold out. Now, when I'm talking about this COVID and COVID testing and the variants and what have you, you know who's in the middle of all this? I'm going to tell you who's in the middle. It is menopausal women. We have worked so hard to take care of each side of our lives. I'm not even talking about us yet. We take care of the younger people. I have a lot of friends whose children are in school. So they're working with their grandchildren on the computer because of virtual school. Then I have another group of friends who are taking care of older parents. And then they got jobs, they got ministries, they got a husband or a friend or a community. And then they said, oh my goodness, this is so much. So, one of the things for menopausal women, and again, I say menopausal is going through several generations. Menopausal woman could be either a millennial, yes, could be a Gen Zer, yes, and could be what I am, a baby boomer. Because when we talk about menopause, we're talking about period, the status of your period. Okay, so let's talk about this. When we're talking about us being queens, a lot of times the way we think, we're not thinking queenly. Are you thinking queenly? Are you thinking that you're regal, that you have grace, that you have style, that you are confident in who you are, and you're moving through life with ease? No. Okay, so we're going to talk about what things we need to do to be able to do that. I really felt led. I felt led. I prayed about it. What can I say to women to start off their year? Well, there is nothing wrong with you rethinking. Because you know why? Because always you're changing, you're growing, you're developing. Now, if you're not, you're stale and you're stuck. Now, I refuse to say I'm stale or I'm stuck. Let me tell you this. In another week or so, I'm getting ready to have a birthday. Now, I used to think, when you think of menopausal women and you saw all the old ladies in the kitchen and fanning themselves and got hot flashes and what have you. And I'm going to say this, that's because 70% of the women may experience hot flashes. Hot flashes are different. There are variations. Their onset might be different. Their duration might be different. And those kind of things, we don't have all the time to talk about that today. But when I have my boot camp, which is coming up on January the 20th, 21st, and 22nd, these are different things that we're going to be talking about. Okay, so anyway, we've been talking about us being a queen and how we think and how we feel. It's a matter of reframing what we think. You think you're the same person you were when you were 20 years old? Come on now. No, you're not the same person you were at 30. You're not the same person at 40. And most people, when they become perimenopausal, when they start their periods change and what have you, they're usually in their 40s. I tell you, menopause could even last as long as up to 10 years. And when we talk about menopause, that means getting to the point that your periods be irregular to the point of when it stops. Now, those signs and symptoms may not stop. I was talking to a young lady last week, and she's like in her 70s. And she says, you know what? I'm still having hot flashes. She said, but you know what? My mother still had hot flashes and she was 80. That's the point of looking around you, self discovery, determining who you are now and who you want to be later. Now, I talked about my crown. Okay. I'll be 49 and I'm in perimenopause. Okay. This is Miss Foster. Okay. And that's normal. Most people stop having their period about 52, 53, 54 years old. But it takes a long time to get up to that point. And I'll tell you, as you're going through, you're going to make changes. You're going to be moving in different areas. You're going to experience. Did you know there's 32 signs and symptoms? 32 signs and symptoms of menopause that people hadn't even thought about. I'm going to just tell you one right quick. We talked about the hot flashes, and we could talk about a whole lot of things. But one of the things of menopause people had not thought of, start losing your hair. Yes. And I'm talking about all over. Now, I won't get particular on this. But that doesn't mean we're not a queen. That doesn't mean that we're not regal. Okay, now I'm gonna go with you on a couple things here. Now I have to have and Esther. Hey Esther, how you doing? Just because I'm getting a little older, I wrote all these notes down. But one thing I really, really, really wanted to share with you because I thought this was so interesting is that if you have limiting beliefs regarding who you are as a woman during menopause. Okay, let me read this because I wrote this down. You are limiting the wealthiness of you being a successful, happy menopausal woman. Now, you never thought of being menopausal and wealthy. And today I listened to this podcast, and this lady said, a doctor, oh my goodness, she has so many degrees, and she's fantastic. And if I get her link, I'll put it in the link for you. She said being wealthy is just 20% of it is money. The other is friends and family, your culture, your passion, your aspirations. And I know that many of you had ideals, thoughts, concepts, aspirations, even when you were 5 years old. You were 10 years old or 20. You know what I wanted to be when I was little? I wanted to be a teacher. When did I really become a teacher? When I started becoming a menopause whisperer. And if many of you know, I was 64 years old at that time. Now, who starts something at 64? Most of you say you should have been retired. I was. And I decided, no. I went on and got my doctorate. And I said, I'm going out here to help women. What is your purpose? What queenness is there in you? I want you to think, okay, now this is one of the things I want you to think. What specific menopausal limiting belief thing that you're thinking about yourself right now? Now, some people, let's put this in the coach. Okay, now here's some people there coming in here. One, okay, Miss Foster, she says, I had hot flashes, but the part I didn't know was that life evaluation process that comes along with it. I've never felt so connected to my grandmothers. Don't you? Girl, please. You know what you're probably saying? I used to make fun of them. I wish I could say I'm sorry now. Oh, I do it on a whole lot of different areas. We could get real personal on that. Those women were queens. And we didn't even recognize it. And that's why when I'm talking to menopausal women, I want all generations to understand, work with each other, connect with each other. I'm even in February, I'm going to put together a mastermind of menopausal women so that they can connect and work with each other, so they can start understanding each other. Now, I got something here from Cynthia. Hold on a minute, I'm going to read this. She says, Cynthia says here, we're a part of a kingdom. We should wear our marvelous crown. Go ahead, Cynthia. Why not wear one on earth, baby boomers? Oh, shucks now. And I will be older next week. This is formative. I will be 67 years young. Go ahead, Cynthia. Okay, my birthday's on the 14th. I'll be 67. Okay, we might need to talk to each other. Just because we're older doesn't mean that we are, come on, let me hear, that we are, I don't see the bottom part of it, but I know what she's saying. A lot of times we think, oh, okay, so we're older. Society has ascribed to us who we are. So today, okay, today I am queen. Even if I don't tell everybody, I'm going to say it to myself because God has given us to be a royal people. We're not less than. We're not done. We're not, oh, that's it. And I have no more purpose in my life. Do you realize the most important things that many women have done? They were in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Come on now. So just think about this. Okay, queens? If 40, start thinking about what am I going to do when I'm 50? What am I going to be? What kind of queen am I going to be at 60? What kind of queen will I be at 70? Go up. Don't stay stuck. Okay? Now, I'm going to read you something else I put down here. Okay. It says here. Now, I did this research on, okay, when you're talking about, because everything I want to do, I want to have scientific facts with it. I want to say here, this one doctor, Dr. Barbara Oakley, says, now this is interesting. She says, at times when we are constantly being asked to retain and reinvent ourselves to adapt to new technology, and I know many of you, first of all, kudos to you that you're on live stream. Now, some of us go all the way back. Now, I remember when we didn't even have good color televisions, okay? But now we have changing industries. This and the whole thing is we can still follow our passions. One of the things she says, especially when it comes to neuroscientific things, she says just because you might not have had an aptitude or ability to do something when you were 20, come on, you can do it and you can gain it. You know what I'm doing now? Now, y'all, I'm gonna be real open to you. Okay, I'm gonna show you what I'm doing. This is crazy, but I'm gonna show you. I am knitting. You see all this wild colors and all this stuff. Now you say, what are you knitting? Now, this is a challenge to you that you could do something different. I'm knitting slippers that I learned how to do in 1980 and never finished them. Okay, I'm knitting now. And I don't plan just to be one of these knitters that just do something simple. I got a bag over there. I'm learning how to knit a sweater. Okay? And it's going to be fabulous. But I'm just giving you an example. Just because you didn't have an ability doesn't mean that you cannot get an ability. But you got to get that mind right. You got to start thinking positive about yourself. What do you think that is not as strong about yourself? What are you going to do to get it stronger? Just because you're menopausal, have hot flashes, night sweats, acting sometimes irritable swings, does not mean that you can't get a control on it. You cannot master it. Some of them won't all go away, but you can decrease the effect. What you think in your mind. Okay? Now, many of y'all know there's Bible verses and stuff about that, such as you think it. Okay, so I tell you what I decided to do. I'm talking about a whole mind shift. I got my paper here. Got to look at that. It says, as a menopausal way of moving forward, you need to get ready. By getting ready, you're going to say to yourself, what do I believe about menopause? And what am I going to substitute that belief with? I used to think it's nothing but hot flashes and I'm going to sweat and people going to look at me like I'm half crazy. And they're going to say, oh gosh, ooh, she's fanning herself all the time. Well, first of all, what those people ideal is not going to influence who I think I am because menopausal is a natural process. We're living longer. Who would have thought you'd talk about women have hot flashes in their 70s and 80s? No, because many of us are going to live into our 80s easy, and the millennials will live to their 100. So I want you to understand that most of your life will be menopausal, because most women live at least 20, 30, and it will be 40 years past they stop having their period. So you're going to sit down and do nothing? Oh, no. Get set. Okay, so what are you going to do? How are you going to start thinking better about yourself? What do you do as far as your mindset in the morning, how you think about yourself? Do you get up grumbling? Or do you get up and say, I thank God I got blood running in my body? I got the articulation of my limbs. I can think. Huh? A lot of times, people say, well, she ain't tracking. You can think. So one of the things I thought about doing today, and I pulled out a scripture here, and I want you to think about this. This is Philippians 4:8. It says, finally, brethren, and I will say sister, whatever things are true, come on, tell me what is true about you. Okay, wait a minute. I got something here with Cynthia. I have hot flash, power, wisdom belongs to us. Be encouraged. That's right. I love it. And that's why I'm reading this here. It says, whatever things are honest, be honest with yourself. Stop thinking wrong. Whatever is good about you, be honest. It says, whatever things are just. I am tired of people saying, well, I'm not this. No, you are just and justified. Okay? It says, whatever things are pure and lovely, girl, be lovely, be pure. Whatever things are virtuous, you got character. Think better about yourself. And if there's anything, praise, anything that you can think about, God has given you the ability and the privilege and the grace to be here another day. Think on these things. Okay? Every day. At least get this scripture here. At least think of one of these things and thank God for it. Okay, now I'm going to tell you. I'm getting ready to close out. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about sabotaging activities of menopausal women. And as a nurse, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be straight up front with you of things that people do to sabotage them having the highest level, the highest quality of life. Now, this is like what I call pre-work to my boot camp. We have a lot of fun at our boot camp. Again, January the 20th, that's that Thursday evening. Oh, we're going to have fun. The 21st is Friday, just 4 hours. And the 22nd, 4 hours. We're going to design a way that, okay, for 2022, these are going to be my priorities. Because without a plan, there is no plan. Just those, haphazard. No, pray about it. Get divine direction and move forward. Now, we talked about crowns. I'm going to remove this crown here. Okay? Now, you remember we started off with this little crown? And now we're at, I just took this one off. Bam. And I'm going to wear it to the side. Is this not beautiful? I said, go and get yourself a crown. And look at yourself. Think of yourself royally. Think of yourself in good report. Think of yourself as virtuous. Stop letting what society say about menopausal women influence you, and put that in your spirit, in your mind, and even how you carry yourself, mind, body, spirit, of who you are and the privilege Now you hear me? The privilege you have to see another day. Okay? Rethink, master your menopause mind. And for those who would be interested in coming to the boot camp, please, 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 because pretty soon, it's right now 50% of the cost is going to go up, but I'm going to be able to put it in the Facebook and what have you so you can click on. I would love for you to come. Have a blessed day. And for many of you, I will say, and I'm hoping, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye bye.